Happy to see you in Business Doctor. This is in continuation with information technology series. We saw in the first video about quadrants. Now we are going to discuss something about patterns in real life. We'll talk about design patterns when we really go in deep into information technology or computer science related stuff or coding related stuff. But park it for now. We are going to talk about generally what the pattern is and what is geometry in a sense. If you really look at nights, you will see stars and moon like that, right? So what happens is that how these astronomical calculations were made, for example, or how even certain extent the astrology is made. If you really look at, assume you are in a dark night, sitting somewhere lonely, and you are watching the sky, and you have a piece of paper, and assume you have a time, say starting from 7 p.m. the night, where you can see stars. Then what happens is that you start plotting down all the stars and moon, or maybe planets, if you could identify, and draw it on the paper, okay, at 7 o'clock. Then sorry about that. So at 7:30 again you sit at the same place and you start mapping all that like that for 8 o'clock in the night, 9 o'clock, 10 till morning, say 5 or 6, till you can see all the stars. If you repeat this daily, then see how many days, how many papers you will collect, and over a period of time, like a month or 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, then if you further extend that, go for second year, third year, 10th year, 20th year, 50th year, then after some time, 60th year, if you are able to go through what you have drawn, how the stars are stacking up in each of these papers. So per day, suppose you are collecting data at a 30-minute interval for about 10 hours in the night. So you will be calculating. You will be having at least 20 papers a day. So imagine 20 papers into 365 into 60 years or 50 years or 100 years. So, and if you are able to see how the stars move, that's exactly that's what the astronomy was calculated whatever years, number of years back. What I'm trying to tell you here is that the pattern of the movement of the stars from one place to other, you are mimicking the entire sky to a piece of paper, a rectangle, the quadrant, probably the fourth quadrant, and you are able to pinpoint how the stars moved from one place to other over a period of time in that paper itself. And it is not just one star, there are millions of stars and millions of whatever the galaxies thereof, and all these positions, and these things form a pattern like called months. It's called years, and after say 60 years or so, the pattern gets repeated. So that's how the calendars are formed. This is one example. In the other example, if you really look at, you would be obviously you would have seen people drawing some rangolis or some decorative designs at home, maybe at the doorsteps, and particularly during the December season, there will be a lot of people who are drawing rangolis or columns, as called in Tamil Nadu, for example. So what happens is that if you really see where do you start the rangoli, you have to put a dot somewhere, right? The sheet of paper is something, the canvas is in front of your home, and you imagine something that this is how this is the area I am going to cover, and this is the picture I am going to draw, and I am going to start from somewhere here. Okay, and what happens is that you draw some pattern, or maybe some shape in the first place. Then you repeat that shape, maybe in a cylindrical fashion, in a circular fashion, or maybe in a rectangular, or in a square, or maybe in any combination of any of these geometrical patterns. You will draw these kind of designs and make a beautiful rangoli. Okay, this also is a pattern. Okay, then there is a third example, which every human being or every living being has got. Okay, there are ears, there is a nose, and there is an eye, and there is a face, there are fingers, and each one is a pattern by itself. There is a geometry, there is a shape. It has got a shape, and this has got a shape, and this has got a shape, and this has got a shape. My neck, my forehead has got a shape, my neck has got a shape, my fingers have got a shape, which is also the same. You may be also having it, but probably the size and the dimension of these things differ from person to person, or within the person it could be different. But obviously, very difficult for you to take one finger from here and put it on to this. That won't work. So there is though there is a symmetry, that is the point I am trying to tell you here. There is a symmetry, and there is a shape, and that gets repeated. Okay, that gets repeated, like this is a cylindrical shape, and this shape is not only in this finger, it is there in this finger, here, maybe in legs, and that pattern is available to every human being. Okay, maybe if you look at the animals, probably the way elephants are, the way cats are, the way the rats are, the way lions are, maybe fish. You can add any number of things. Not only living beings, even plants. All these things have got a root. There are offshoots. There is a stem, and then there is a branch, and there is a leaf. Maybe the size, everything differs, but all these nomenclatures are applicable for almost every plant, maybe to some trees as well. So, but some trees may not have, like a palm tree may not have that kind of a branch like a tamarind tree. We will see how these differentiations happen, and how these patterns get implemented. I'm just using the word for now. How these patterns get implemented, we will see when we really get into the computer science coding. But I want you to understand how these patterns of any living being or a tree or something. For all these things, the common point is there is a geometry, there is a shape, and if you slightly go into biophysical stuff, certain things are being held, right? There is a nail, and the nail does not fall off. It actually grows, maybe some millimeter day by day, and then you cut it off. Till then, it stays. So there is something which is holding. Okay, when the tree grows, or when the plant grows, still that is being held together. Okay, which means that there is a force acting on it, and that is keeping that intact. Why I am saying there is a force here, because force is also a function. Okay, and you need to remember when we get into computing parlance, so you can easily correlate that what that is. And in this pattern, if you look at, there is something holding both the data. The data here is that this is the nose, this is the shape, and somebody has drawn it like that, and there is a force which is acting on it to keep things together so that it doesn't fall off. Okay, in the same way fingers don't fall off. Okay, the leaves don't fall off. Okay, so there is a force which is binding to something else, and there is a leaf itself. Leaf means it has got a shaped green item, and maybe it is it's bright during the day and probably slightly getting folded or getting darkened during the night, and when it gets faded, it totally changes to brownish and then it falls down. So till that time the force was able to bind that, and after that point the force is not able to bind that, so the leaf falls. So in that scenario, what is happening is that there is I'm just introducing the term here, remember this, this is called the state. The leaf was able to hold on to the branch, and there is a state which is maintained as a plant. Then what happens is that the leaf as a data which has got green color, which has got chlorophyll, which has got the veins, and which carries water, which carries all the minerals to the leaf itself, and there is a shape to that, and it is being held together so that it doesn't fall. At any given time it can fall, but it is not falling until it becomes brownish or dead. So till the time it is able to withstand. So something is holding on to that particular plant, which is keeping that leaf intact with the branch or the plant itself, let's say. So I'm just introducing the term here. There is a state, and the state of a leaf has got both the data, which is the amount of chlorophyll, the amount of water content, the amount of greenishness, the amount of maybe minerals, whatever it is. So there are so many variables there, and there is a force which is being held together. Okay, so if you really look at any object, okay, I will discuss object in a while, or maybe in the other video, but if you look at any object, always there will be the object will be in a state. Okay, in a state which has got a data and which has got a function. Okay, very rarely there won't be any data. It may be certain things can act as a function, or sometimes there may be any without any data. It can be only a pure function, or it can have only data without a function. Both are possible. Both combinations are already there are some combinations by which it can happen. That we will see later. Okay, based on the designs or design patterns, things will change. So what we have seen so far is about the patterns of all the geometrical shapes which you see, and which in turn has got, which itself is an object, and it has got a state or data and a function. Okay, with that background, let's go slightly deeper into the object itself. In reality, what is happening is that everything is an object. Whatever you can see, whatever you cannot see is also an object, but only thing is it has got a function that makes that object invisible to, like for example stealth bombers. If you really look at stealth bombers, they actually they fly, everything is same, but only thing is it won't be available or visible in the radar screen. So the radars cannot sense, but still it is a bomber. It does all the damage. So from that perspective, everything has got a visible or invisible, has got a state, and which means there is a data and there is a function to either act on it, or it is going to act upon something else, or something else is going to act upon it. Okay, from that perspective, we are going to discuss now about the objects. and how we cover this state to that object we will discuss. Object is like I am an object, mobile is an object, this mic is an object, okay, this shirt is an object, so everything is an object. And these objects are nothing but, see, this object, this shirt also has got a particular shape, right? There is a collar which has got a rectangular shape, but in a curved way, and there is a shirt and there is a cylindrical portion, everything. What we discussed about, all these, the rangolis, the patterns, geometry, everything holds good for this as well. And but if you take only this collar, you won't call this as a collar. This is a piece of cloth. Whereas in the context of a shirt, it becomes a collar. So from that perspective, every before we say that something is an object, what happens is that there is something called codification and classification, which you have to remember. I am a human being, so I am called, or my classification or class. In a computer science terminology, each one is a class. Class is nothing but a short form of classified object or classification. So from that perspective, the class is Google is not a class. A man is a class, and Google is a type of man by name called Google. The same way, this is mobile. This is maybe Samsung mobile, or it may be iPhone mobile, or it can be Motorola. It can be anything. Okay, so each one is a mobile, and mobile, this is a class by itself, and there are various objects which are representative or which is derived from this class. And when it comes to codification, why you need to be clear about codification is that by name you are also codified that way, okay, in the real sense. When I say Google, okay, this is also a kind of codification. Maybe something you call by name mobile, which means that the word mobile represents, okay, that you can carry, you can do something, you can talk, you can communicate basically when you are on mobile. So there is a meaning. All these names, or the names of the classes, or the objects of these classes have been codified in such a way that the name itself would reveal about that particular object in general. Okay. For example, what is your employee code? You will say that my company name ABC/2023/30, which means that that is a codification. Employee ID is just an attribute of you with respect to that particular company, whereas the company name, suppose the company or the department or function or whatever, so you will say that okay, I am in development, or I am in testing, or I am in manufacturing, or I am in the shop floor, I am in design, whatever it is, followed by this. So finally you will get a number. Another simple example, if you are having a landline phone, what it used to be before all these changes happened is that the last 4 digits of your landline number is actually your number. Then you will have the telephone exchange code, then the place where you represent, and then it will be represented by the state, the group, and then the country, and there is a way to access that. The protocol is you have to dial 00 or plus 91 plus 1 plus 52, whatever number, 26. Okay, it's based on the country code. So which means that the number itself is clearly coded that the person is identifiable, which means that by any definition of your name or your attribute, you should be in a position to identified by looking at your attributes. That is the essence of it. Okay, so the classification here is that all the things which you see, if you slightly try to group it in such a way that okay, all these things are mobile phones. Okay, then what is computers? Computers, yeah, I have both laptop and desktop. They are called computers. Then you will slightly stack it up, saying that all these things are electronic goods. Then you slightly what is the difference between these electronic goods and your tables and chairs? So all are goods. So then what is these goods are called? So these are this comes under maybe equipments or utilities or something like that. You can classify like that. You can add go either you can go up or you can go down in the value chain till you identify that object. That is the point here. So in this classification and codification, okay, every class should be identified or codified in such a way that the class itself can be revealed not only to you, to the program which you write also, of course, that is important, and I mean for human sense also it should make sense, and at the same time the for the code flow itself should also recognize that what it is. Okay, then the object comes. Finally the object comes. So when this object comes, because the leaf is going to store chlorophyll or the quantum of chlorophyll is a data of the leaf object itself or leaf class itself. Okay, leaf in a particular say brinjal plant, then it becomes an object. Okay, but leaf as such is a class. Okay, but then you do not know what is the value of the chlorophyll for in general, but it will tell you that it has to store a value called chlorophyll, and it is held by a force called maybe whatever is the botanical name for that, and and if the force goes down, then it has to the object gets destructed like that. The destruction happens independently maybe, or maybe the plant itself dies, so the leaf also dies. So it can be any of that. So then all these things are held on to that the class hierarchy, right? This is called class hierarchy, where these classes are held together. Then from one class to another class, or from one object to another object, something needs to be transmitted, right, in order to maintain between the leaf and the stem. Something has to be transmitted, right? In software parlance, you will pass on a context. We will discuss about context in detail later. So there is a context on which all these classes are get or added together or grouped together, or the flow of any code goes through these classes in order to fulfill a particular request. Okay, like the request can be like watering the plant, or putting it under the sunlight. All those things are requests, and the plant absorbs, and when it reaches that level, it stops taking it. So that way we will discuss about there are the different methods of communications between these classes and objects, etc. For now, we have seen these patterns. Then we have seen the codification and classification. Okay, then we slightly discussed about how these classes are. Okay, with that note, I'll see you in the next video, and we'll go slightly deeper into how these classes are getting constructed, and what are the real life pattern we saw, right, with how these patterns are going to be in software design, how these things are going to be constructed. That we will see in the upcoming video. Please stay tuned for that, and see you in the next video. This is Gokul. Cheers.